Rodney Honey here with GoosonTutorBoxing.com, here with the WBA world champ, Andre Ward. Andre, you got a tough fight.
Yeah.
Bika is no joke. I mean, he's an erratic fighter, but it's something that you just come accustomed to in the gym and training.
Every fight is tough. Every fight is dangerous. It's just the way it is when you get to a certain level. So, you know, obviously, depending on who the opponent is, they bring, you know, different styles and different things you got to look out for, and there's a different game plan, but every fight has the same implications.
You know, it's like, how do you train for a person, man, that's so erratic, though, when you think about Bika? I mean, he's not your traditional fighter, not your European fighter. He's not your Mexican fighter. He's just an erratic fighter.
I think it's just to, you know, you got to stay calm with a guy like him. You got to stay focused, and you can't let what he's doing take you out of your game. You can't panic, basically. You got to just stay focused, stay cold, stay calculated, and implement your game plan until it unfolds.
Well, we saw that with you with Alan Green. It was a fight that you didn't anticipate with your game plan going in there, but as again, once you're inside that square circle, you have to do what you have to do.
You got to make adjustments, and I think that's the key in any sport is guys, you know, that can make adjustments on the fly. It doesn't, hey, we all have ideals going into the big night. You know, we want it to happen a certain way, but, you know, only problem is we have an opponent who doesn't want to cooperate.
Right.
And we got to be able to make adjustments. So, you know, we focus on making adjustments mid-fight as much as we do our solid game plan going in. We care that much about it because it's that important. So there will be nothing different in this fight. We have a general game plan that we're laying down, and we've been laying down over the last 6-7 weeks, but we will be prepared to do whatever we have to, whatever the game asks us to do. I want to be able to have an answer for it.
You know, people talk about earlier at the press conference, they said pressure fighting at home. There's no pressure fighting at home any different than pressure fighting abroad. The bottom line is there's a privilege and an honor to be able to fight at home.
I like the way you said that. It's a privilege and an honor. It's more of an honor to be here, obviously, than fighting somewhere where, you know, I don't know anybody. You know, but the pressures are always the same. The implications are the same. I have to go out there and I have to find a way to get it done. But to be able to get it done at home and then celebrate with the fans, it's just unbelievable.
And, you know, we talked about this before, growing up here in the Bay. There's a lot of outside influences that can get you off the course and path that's supposed to be set for you. But to be able to touch people and give them that inspiration and motivation, that's huge.
It's big, and, you know, it comes with a lot of responsibility, and I don't take it lightly. You know, when I'm amongst the fans and, you know, amongst young kids and even adults, you know, it's work, but it's also a privilege because, you know, you have something that they want. They're pulling on your time. They want to get a few words from you, and that's just huge. You know, that's huge, and I take that very seriously.
I talked to Manny Pacquiao yesterday before he flew out, and he mentioned you as one of his favorite fighters to see. That's just respect amongst warriors in the game.
That's unbelievable. You know, I mean, I've never met Pacquiao, but for him to, you know, see something in my game that he respects and likes, man, that's off the charts. That's off the charts.
All right, tell me some of the fighters that you look up to that are currently fighting that you give respect to.
Man, I got a lot of respect for Manny, Floyd Mayweather, and those are just some of the big names. Bernard Hopkins, of course. I mean, you know, that goes without saying. And, you know, really all the fighters that get inside the ring because they deserve respect. And sometimes the guys at the lower level, they don't get the respect, they don't get the attention. But sometimes those guys, you know, they're putting more on the line than the guys that are making millions because they get less return, but they're taking the same amount of risk. So I take my hat off to any fighter that's willing to train, prepare himself, and then get in the ring and put it all on the line. You got to respect that.
You don't have to go out there and jaw jack, talk crap to sell yourself as a fighter. If you do what you have to do in the ring and have good character, it exudes when you as a person.
Yeah, it's a good sign for the person. It builds the person's name up in a positive light. It's also good for the sport. You know, I really get a kick out of the fact that, you know, there are mothers that come and say, I don't really care about boxing, but I wanted my son to come watch you fight. I mean, that's like, wow, because I see something in your character that, you know, I want him to pull from. That's what it's about, because that's what's going to last. This boxing, I'm going to turn my back on this sport one day and walk away. I can't do it forever. So is Manny, so is Floyd. Who were we as people? That's what's going to stand. I want my kids and I want other kids to be able to look up and have something to point to as an example, because we don't have many examples in the world. So if I can be one, man, I'm going to continue to be.